Well, then in 1986, you were involved in Operation Pisces.
Correct.
Tell me about that.
Well, God, that was, according to me, the Attorney General at that time, it was the largest, most successful undercover operation in the history of law enforcement. And it was elaborate. It was elaborate. We had basically money laundering operations all over the country, actually New York and California. I was picked to be the guy in California, all right? So basically what it was is you just laundered money. They brought you money, you gave it to the bank, and they put it forward to another bank in Miami. However, in my case, I put the money with the dope, which was something that guys weren't doing. I got them in conversation relative to the dope. Because the rest, what? I just got the money, I took it, what? I got them involved with the conversations. And I got them all involved in one another. For example, my first case was Benitez. He gave me like maybe $400,000 to launder. So I did it, right? I laundered that. Then there was another guy, who was it? It was Benitez again, of $500,000. And then there was Rivera, and it was two other guys. And we did about $1 million between us. And then it was Pantalone. We did $1 million with him and more. We did a couple of million between all of them. And then I came up with this rap. The heroin was being cut with kerosene, which is not the real cut that it's supposed to have. But basically, use ether. And that's how you could tell it was cocaine when you smell the ether. Yeah? And they were making people bleed. So I said to Pantalone, you have a problem with your cocaine that people are... He says, yeah. So when I got to deal with Lily, whose name was Lily, do you have the same problem with this? Yes. 1 and 1 is 2, right? And I dealt with the other guys the same way. I asked them if they had a problem with the coke. They said, yes, with the heroin, yes. And then I would ask them if they knew certain people. And I said, yeah, you know Benitez? Yeah, I know Benitez. And Pantalone, yes, I know. Boom, everybody in the same mix, you know what I mean? There was one particular guy in particular. I met with him in the parking lot. We had something to do. I forget what it was. But his phone was dead, one dead. So I told him, use my phone, which was great because I got the number on my phone, the register. So he called, and he called a Chevrolet dealer in Los Angeles. That dealer was a front for them. They provided licenses. They provided them with cover. They provided them with cars. So we got them involved in the conspiracy.
Okay. And you were actually working with the Medellin Cartel.
Yes.
Jose Lopez and Alfonso Reyes.
Yes.
Who were close to Pablo Escobar.
Yes.
Did you ever meet Pablo Escobar?
No, I didn't, no.
Okay. Did you ever go to Colombia?
No.
Okay. But the Medellin Cartel has quite a fearsome reputation.
Yes.
Were people getting killed around this,
yes.
this group of people that you were working with? Okay. What were some of the murders that were happening during this time?
There was one in particular. I only could talk about one in particular.
Okay.
And I was dealing with Pantaleon at that time. We did $2 million together. And we were sitting down in my apartment. We got an apartment to further the case. It was easy to get a place to go, you know, conversation, count the money. Mm-hmm. So I was with Pantaleon and we were talking. And, you know, this guy is tough. You know, he's a tough guy, you know. So we're talking about this and that. So then I asked him, you're not for nothing. Where'd you get all this money? I know you didn't get it selling shoes. So he says, no, I got cocaine. He said, how do you know how much you got to get back? He said, I know because I get X amount of kilos from Lopez, and I only owe him X amount of money, which is about $20,000 per kilo. And that's how I get the money to you. So that was that, right? The next day, okay, he goes out and he kills Gonzalez, this guy, his partner, whacks him in a place with 9mm, just wastes him, like in The Godfather, right? Because the guy stole a couple of kilos from him and money. And Lopez sanctioned the kill. Hmm. And I said, well, I'm dealing with this guy. Are you kidding me? You know, it was really a little, I was shaken up by that, you know.
Well, right. You laundered over $50 million?
Yes, at least.
Okay. And then the arrests started eventually happening.
Yes.
350 people got arrested?
All told.
350 people.
Yes.
And they seized 9 tons of cocaine.
Correct.
And over $100 million in cash and assets.
That's right.
Which is the largest undercover drug investigation in the history
Correct.
Of the United States.
Correct. According to me, yes.
Out of the 350 people who got arrested, how many actually got convicted?
You know, I couldn't tell you, but I would say the majority of them did. Because I know in my case, I was the man in Orange County, right? I covered Irvine, I covered Costa Mesa, I covered Newport, I covered a lot of other areas, right? None of those guys, they all took a plea. I didn't have to go to court and testify. They just copped a plea and went to jail.
Okay, so you didn't actually have to take the stand in that
No,
case?
I didn't.
Because everyone's copping pleas.
Right. However, there was a time that I had an administrator called me through my boss. They wanted me to work on Clarita, who was Pantano's wife. They wanted to see what I could get from her in terms of evidence, intelligence. So I thought about it. I said, Jesus, man, I tell you, one thing is working on these guys, another thing is working on the women. It went beyond my parameters, okay? It's like, I really didn't want to do it, to be honest with you. Because she had kids, you know, and that would be instrumental in making her go to jail. So I started working on a story in my head, and the surveillance agents tailed her, and when they brought her into an AMP, you know, one of these stores, so they got her in there, and they told me, she's there. So I said, okay, I got it. So what I was going to do is a happenstance meeting with her. Like I just meet her when she's coming out of the store. And I did that. She was coming out of the store, and I happened to walk by her. Clarita, what are you doing? She said, oh my God, Louis. Yes, okay, how are you? Blah, 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 blah. What's going on? I said, well, I don't know, my husband is in trouble. What happened? He whacked this guy Gonzalez. She spilled everything out. Didn't we have a good thing going? We had a nice little business, yeah, but things are different now. Can't we have something between us? No. Behind that, she was locked up. And she was taken in. And I remember, I didn't actually testify. I think she copped a plea. But I was in a room with her kid and the kid that was the son of Gonzalez who was killed. And I was saying, wow, look at this. There are two kids here. And they liked one another. They were playing to one another. And what a shame. You know, what a shame. Anyway, they convicted her on a plea, you know. But I got to tell you, I wasn't very happy doing that. It was beyond my parameters. Because one thing is to fuck with these guys, you know. Another thing is to fuck with their wives. That could take that personally. They could take that personally. I was concerned about that. And then the other thing was she had kids too, you know. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a problem too for her, you know. I was concerned for that, you know. But I said, you know what? These people kill people. They're selling dope and killing people. I got to do what I got to do. And that's what I did.